the panel decides in one race he's good enough, in which case he'll then get to drive the Ferrari 296 GT3 on the second day, but not under his alias as Franz Hermann. He has to do it as Max Verstappen to get the permit.
What are the questions on this exam? What's your name? Max Verstappen. Oh, congratulations, you've got a permit.
I mean, I don't know is the answer. And in fact, if anyone from the German Permit Association is watching or listening to this podcast, perhaps you could send us the kind of. I'd love to know what's on that. I mean,
does Nico have a German permit?
Have you done the Nürburgring, the full track? Have you got your permit?
No, I've never done it, and I don't have a permit. Nevertheless, I find it so awesome that he's doing this. Incredible. Like all of us other drivers, with 24 races, you're just like maxed out, and all you can think of is doing some home time with a bit of training, routine, see the kids, and he goes off to go into a classroom to get a license to then drive in the B class on the Saturday, and then hopefully make it to the A class by the Sunday. Unbelievable. That's so cool. Like the whole world will be watching this. And like even I'll be tuning in on Sunday to see how he's going. Because I think, there's been so much talk about his lap record from 5 months ago. Yeah. Of course he can do the lap record. He's the most talented race car driver in the whole world. And it doesn't matter what car he gets into. He will drive faster than anybody else in the world. So of course he's going to do incredibly well. Like
Kelly's very patient though. We'll give Kelly PK his partner, so as if she doesn't have him for enough weekends. Off he buggers to the Nordschleife.
I've just looked up what do you need to get a permit at the Nordschleife, and what's come out is an example all about yellow flags and how much speed you can or can't have going through yellow flag zones, and it's a code 60 zone or a code 120 zone. It's actually quite confusing, to be fair. I mean, for me, not for Max, obviously.
Very confusing, and not something that you'll be getting anytime soon. You're too busy, Crofty. Although actually, you've got weekend off. Maybe you can get down there next couple of weekends, haven't you? So there we are.
Mrs. Crofty's not as patient as Kelly, trust me.
No, I bet. But you have been lavishing her with anniversary gifts, so I should imagine that she's pretty happy with you at the moment. All right, we'll take a break. Okay. We'll take a short break, and then we shall return. We'll discuss Ferrari. We'll also discuss a few more issues at Mercedes for Kimi Antonelli in a couple of moments' time. Quick word on our show partner, Audi. The philosophy of Audi Sport isn't just about winning races. It's about pushing boundaries. Everything learnt on the track goes straight into Audi's road cars, making them just as thrilling as they are refined. Take the Audi RS range, serious performance, but with a level of sophistication and refinement that doesn't need to be loud to make a statement. It's that perfect blend of power and precision wrapped in quiet luxury. Whether it's their powerful style or the RS sports suspension with Quattro all-wheel drive for razor-sharp handling, Audi is constantly redefining the future of performance. Book a test drive today to experience the Audi RS range for yourself. Welcome back to the F1 show, sponsored as ever by Audi. Nico Rosberg and David Croft are still with me, hanging on in there. But there's a lot to talk about this weekend. And one of those, again, just the same old story, really, for Kimi Antonelli and for Mercedes. Another off in practice, Nico. FP2 into the gravel, lost valuable time, wheel spin off the line, down from 6th to 10th. And then your boss, Toto, first real time he's come out. Yes, he still believes in him. He says all that and he's given it, but said underwhelming, really, from the start to the finish. In knowing Toto as you do, what does that mean when he gives you a rocket or a public admonishment like that? What did it mean to you, and what do you think he's trying to achieve with it?
It's a surprising one, because at the moment the only choice you really have is just give Kimi the most time possible in the most calm way possible, and that means also not criticizing him publicly. And so this change of tone from Toto for the first time ever, usually there's a reason behind it. Toto is very calculated in his comments. Perhaps he's wanting to put some pressure on Kimi and his family to try a different approach, modify their approach, review their approach. Not sure there. But the fact of the matter is that Kimi is a generational talent. We all know that, but it's more difficult to him than we all thought so far, and it's a bit strange that it's still so difficult. Like if you look at the statistics,
Lance Stroll opens up on harsh F1 criticism. I like to see it as just noise. Lance Stroll has revealed how he tunes out the criticism that comes with competing in F1, where he is often on the receiving end of severe negativity. Lance Stroll has shared how he handles the bright spotlight that comes with racing in F1, and what he does to counteract the harsh criticism he is often subject to. The Aston Martin driver is one of the most polarizing figures in the Formula One paddock. Now into his 9th season in the championship, whilst he has shown he is quick enough to compete in F1, he is considered by many to not be worthy of the seat he occupies at the Silverstone-based squad. Stroll has scored 3 podiums since his debut with Williams in 2017, becoming the second youngest driver in F1 history, behind Max Verstappen, to reach the rostrum at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix that year, and he took his maiden pole position at the Turkish Grand Prix in 2020. However, he has often struggled for consistency and comparatively to his teammates. Although he has spent time alongside multiple F1 drivers champions, Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso, during his time at Aston Martin. But, as the son of team owner Lawrence Stroll, the young Canadian is an easy shot, with many arguing he is only still in his seat because of his father, and that he will ultimately hold the team back from its championship aspirations. Speaking to Jake Humphrey as part of Aston Martin's Unearth Your Greatness series on YouTube, Stroll addressed the often extreme criticism he receives, saying, "I like to see it as just noise. If I buy into it, it bothers me, for sure, but that's where I am fortunate. I have good people around me that I love, that I trust, and I put my attention and value their opinions. I try and live in my world, not the world in that sense. There's always going to be criticism. People are very short-minded. You have a couple of good races, you're great. You have a couple of bad ones, you suck. That's never going to change. That's why being surrounded by important people and valuing the opinion of people that you care about, that you value, that you really know their opinion, is what matters. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from." Lawrence Stroll has plowed significant investment into the Aston Martin team, transforming the facilities at its Silverstone base, bringing Adrian Newey on board and striking a deal with Honda for a Works Power Unit partnership for the 2026 season. However, the team is currently struggling and sits a lowly 7th in the current campaign's constructor standings. Having finished 5th the past 2 years. In 2025, it is the only team in the top 8 yet to reach the podium, a far cry from Alonso clinching 6th in the opening 8 rounds of 2023. With F1's power unit and chassis overhaul looming ahead of next term, Stroll highlighted how he has used the difficulties of an underwhelming campaign to develop, as Aston Martin readies itself to hopefully jump back up the pecking order. "That's the thing," the 26-year-old said. "We can talk about the podium and the poles, but let's talk about the losses. I think that's where you learn the most about yourself and to grow from those tough moments. I think that's where you really grow as a person, as an athlete, driver, from those struggles, from those hard days. What can you learn from it? How can you come back next week and be better? We all love the highs. We all love the champagne celebrations. But it's really in those hard moments, those tough times, that we learn the most about ourselves and we grow. Join Racing News 365's Ian Parks, Sam Coop, and Nick Golding as they look back at last weekend's Singapore Grand Prix. Lando Norris' move on Oscar Piastri is a major talking point, as is Max Verstappen's title chances now being very much alive.